In this hardware video, we are going to take a look at one of the FCU units that is out on the market that you might be wanting to include in your flight sim setup at home. This is the WingFlex Cube FCU unit. Let's take a look. Welcome to another hardware video. In recent times, in my opinion, we've seen a resurgence when it comes to flight simulator hardware since the release of the next generation flight simulators, such as Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and 2024 and X-Plane 12. In the years past, it would seem that we would see high detail hardware such as yokes, rudder pedals, FMS units, FCU units, cockpit panels. We used to see these products at extremely high prices and generally only one manufacturer making them. A few years down the track after the release of these next generation sims, we're seeing the simulator base grow and seeing more competition in the hardware space with more manufacturers bringing down the price to something more affordable for the everyday simmer. In this video, we are going to check out an Airbus FCU panel from a company called Winflex. In this particular area of the last 18 months, we have seen some new products launched by a range of different manufacturers, such as Mini Cockpit and also in recent times Wing. It really goes to show with these next generation flight simulators, we are seeing more competition and also cheaper prices. That being said, we are going to take a look at what Winflex have to offer. I've actually got their FC unit here, which I haven't even looked at or opened up the box. We're going to do a quick unboxing and just see what is covered and have a look at what it has to offer, including the feeling and the form factor. And also I do have the Wing unit and the Mini Cockpit FCU, and we're going to take a quick comparison towards the end of the video. So let's take a look. Taking a look at the FCU unit from Winflex, comes in a retail package. If I can get the camera angle right there we go. But it's in some retail packaging. We don't really see this too often these days. There's a lot of things sort of come in boxes or plain boxes to save on packaging, but it's nicely packaged, which is good to see. I like this sort of stuff. Let's take a look at it. I'm just going to move over to this side so we can see what's in it. I actually haven't had a look at the unit at all. Comes with a manual or a get started guide or quick installation guide. Apparently this is just plug and play. There's not really much in here. We've got apparently got a screwdriver and USB and some stands and some bolts and the actual unit. But there we go, that's all included. What else have we got? This will be just the normal gear when it comes to USB and things. Oh, they actually give you a screwdriver too. There we go. It's an extra one or Allen key one. Nice. Hopefully that's 2.5mm. We can use that with FS mods. I like getting extra tools. There's their brackets. By the looks of it, it just sits on top. It's got some rubber melts there. Straight away, I'm not a fan of the bracket, especially if you want to mount it to different devices like honeycomb, but it's obviously like a desk mounting bracket. Yeah. All right, those are there. And then there's a packet of screws, so to speak, too. So we'll put those away. I actually turn this box around. It might be easy if we see it this way. And here is the unit. Wow, it's small, like a small form factor compared to some of the other units, like the Wing one. If I can move it up here, if I get in center, like the Wing one, and the or it's more sort of like the size of a the Mini Cockpit. Now we actually take a look at it. All right, let's pull it out, have a bit of a look and a feel. Oh, that's aluminum or some sort of aluminium type housing too, which the other ones are generally like plastic. That does feel nice actually. A little bit of a brush sort of metal look here. Oh wow, there we go. So it's hard plastic on the front and a metal housing. USB connection is on the back. Obviously the mounts go in the bottom here with the screws, so easy to install. And as far as I'm aware, I haven't actually played around with these yet, but I believe these are actual knobs for the backlit lights for the actual FCU unit. So when it comes to the feel, let's have a look. Oh, I do like the button feel on it. Actually, you got double click there on the auto throttle. Well, you can actually hear the sounds. I'm not sure if that's coming through in the camera, but I do like the feel of the unit. And that doesn't have a click. That one doesn't have a click. That one doesn't have a click, but these three have a different double click than the loc and the approach buttons. Match speed, it's got a nice little click, so they're all the same. Sort of pull out and put it's got a spring going back in. So they do feel nice. It's a little bit flimsy, but the actual plastic that they've used feels really nice. Oh, that switch feels really, really good and sturdy there though. So we'll take this off and have a look at the display. It's always nice for that feeling there. Oh, that's one of my favorite things to do with new hardware. Small. I actually really like the actual size of the unit so far being a lot smaller, and I think people with small desks and things like that, you don't necessarily need a one-to-one full size of it though. Alrighty, we've had a bit of a change of plans because one thing we actually did need to get all the lights lighting up correctly. We needed to install the bridging software. I actually went and got that from the WingFlex website. It was really easy to install. It was plug and play. It just picked it up. Now we're loaded into the Phoenix, the A320 at some random airport. So I've already just quickly done this in the background, but I'm going to do it to show you guys. We're just going to turn the external power on here and we'll be able to see it actually load up. So I wasn't going to get this far. I was going to leave this to a part 2 of the video, but we're just going to do this all in one go. So we're going to turn on the external power and we're going to zoom in on the startup so you guys can see if I can get that in the right spot in the camera. We're waiting for the Phoenix to, there we go, to turn on. It's probably not the best views. There we go. Lighting up. It's going through the startup. The AP1 and AP2 lights lighting up. There we go. It went through the whole scenario. That looked really cool. So walking through, going from left to right, actually we'll have a look at the knobs underneath. Now I'm not a big fan for flight sim that these are underneath, but they are mimicking the real world aircraft. So you can see the backlit lights there for the knobs, in and out, and then obviously for the display as well. And you can see the knob changing actually on the sim itself. So hopefully you guys can see that. And then going to the speed button, very responsive, and switching over on the display you can change your actual speed. Very responsive. I'm not seeing much lag at all, hardly any lag, just like a microsecond of lag there between the numbers changing over, but that actually feels quite good. Hello, or the lock button there, as we can see when we're pushing in, it's pushing down, as you would expect with all these FC units that are around. Yeah, that actually feels quite good. Actually, I do like the feel of these buttons. They actually feel very well made. The sort of autopilot 1, I like the double, I like that little, you can feel it, it feels really good. 2, auto throttle, that all syncs, and changing the heading to track mode, obviously altitude, that works, change it to 100 feet. Everything's just syncing up. If we go from left to right, all the buttons are working. Approach button works, and obviously they would light up with a green button on them as well, which we saw on the startup. And then also the vertical speed there too. All in all, this unit actually surprises me and feels quite well made. And it feels quite good, and there's no lag, and it was easy to set up. But I wouldn't mind actually comparing the other 2 units that we actually spoke about to sort of get a bit of a look. But I'm actually really surprised about the quality of the WingFlex product. Out of the 2 other products, the Mini Cockpit FCU and the Wing FCU, I would say pretty much close to the same sort of size and the same sort of form factor. They're very quite identical when it comes to the actual making it, although the Mini FC unit is a little bit longer. I do actually like the button feel of the Mini, of the Wing one a little bit better, and I like the feel of the buttons with the double click. They just, to me, feel a little bit smoother, but as you can see, it's a little bit longer and the mini cockpit doesn't come with a stand. It's basically got some suction caps and things like that. But this feels like a more compact and smaller product in the width. When it comes to the wing unit, which is a little bit different because this unit is full size, and obviously as full size when it comes to the width of the actual FCU unit, but not when it comes to the depth. It's obviously doesn't have the real estate in the depth of the device. The wing I think is the cheaper one out of the two, and you can sort of, even though it's very high quality, and I very much enjoy using the wing product, and we'll see this in a working in a review video later on. If you like this sort of style of review videos, we'll continue doing this. The feeling of all the products, these are all about $250 US and under. I believe the mini cockpit's the most expensive one. This unit here is $200, and I think this one's, I can't remember, around about $120 US, but this is a full size, this is small form factor, this one's small factor, this is aluminium, this is all plastic. Although this does, the wing one does feel a little bit cheap on the side of the buttons. That being said, it is a lot cheaper than the two, and I believe it's probably the most popular one out of all of them. But all in all, the WingFlex has really surprised me of its level of quality. I do like the form factor because I believe it will fit on more people's usability for their desk space, and it just feels really good. And I do like the aluminium feel, and everything just connected up, so it worked great. So definitely another option out there on the market to have a look at. In a summary, the WingFlex FCU is a real surprise in my opinion. I didn't think it was going to be this good. I do like the small form factor, and I assume that's not going to please everybody, but having a lot of products on your desk real estate is very, very important. I do like the quality of build using the aluminum surfaces or aluminium, depending on what part of the world that you're from. The quality of the build feels quite good, and the bridging software is probably one of the best I've used out of the FCU units. I do like the UI, no fuss, work great. The mounting options could be a little bit improved in my opinion, and obviously the knobs underneath, which is to mimic the real world counterpart, I would prefer them to be somewhere else. But other than that, there's some really small aspects of the product. The WingFlex FCU unit is on more of the expensive side than the other two that are out on the market. It's about 200 USD, but I think that's pretty good value for money, and something else to consider when you're looking on the market. If you're wanting the whole family range of products, you can pick up FMS devices, MCDUs, and also EFISs and combos. They have all that available all over their website, so you can get the full fleet if you require. So thank you very much for watching the video. Feel free to leave a comment below if you like this style of video, and if you already have an FCU unit from WingFlex, let us know what you guys think for that. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. We have a bunch of hardware videos to come out on the channel very soon, and we look forward to seeing you in another video.